cities, nations, even civilization itself.
Johnny, we've done a hard-hitting expose on this before. The migrant crisis in both the US and in Europe. It just seems to go on unabated. Yeah, Johnny, we've tackled this problem before. It just seems to go on unabated. It just seems to go on unabated. And you have to ask yourself, Johnny, is this all some sort of a plan, a scheme, to move all these people around the world for some sort of bloody hidden benefit? Right, yeah, by jingoes. With no bloody plan, it seems about where they can and cannot go. Is anybody trying to stop these poor bastards? But Johnny, didn't they come to...
The EU doesn't deport the thousands of young African men who've arrived in Lampedusa, and the game is up, Europe is finished, and frankly so are we. Around 11,000 African men have arrived on the small Italian island in the last few days. They now outnumber the local population by almost 2 to 1.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is a crisis you know all too well, but the numbers seem to be climbing, getting worse and worse. 9,000 a day. They're coming through storm drains. Continue to make this dangerous journey, even though
But Johnny, didn't a country used to have a sovereignty over its borders? No bloody plan, it seems about. I mean, you couldn't have bloody gone and done this in 1950, say. Imagine if you tried it back then. Johnny, there's trouble in New York too, isn't there? They're bussing them into New York and they're just fucking everywhere lining up in the streets of New York.
We currently have 113,300 migrants who've entered our respite and intake centers. This is unsustainable.
They've allowed an illegal invasion into our city, our state, and our country.
Now, I know we've got to be big-hearted, Johnny, and all that sort of stuff, and a lot of these countries these people are coming from are pretty bloody shitty. Well, yes. But I think we've got to do more work to make the countries they're coming from not so shitty. Right, yeah, by jingoes. But Johnny, what advantage is it to be on the agenda of some countries to do it?
A surge in votes has put Lampedusa not for the first time in the crosshairs of European political debate. What's not up for argument, this tiny island can't cope. Thousands of new arrivals have overwhelmed a reception centre built for 680. Basic needs are going unmet. For most, nights here are spent in the open, days seeking whatever help there is.
Even to get a little bit of bread has been difficult. This is not good. It's been 5 days we have been saying, please help us get out of this place.
And yet more still come, hundreds on Saturday alone. Lampedusa is less than 150 kilometres from the Tunisian coast and has become the main sea route from North Africa into Europe.
So, is this another instance of governments just blatantly ignoring what the majority of their constituents want and just letting it happen?
The problem is the same everywhere. The public, generally speaking, the vast majority of the public do not want to see porous borders allowing millions of illegal immigrants around the world coming into countries illegally. Hold people accountable.
Chris, I want to give you 3 numbers here. Over the weekend, 2,200 crossed an Eagle Pass, Texas, one day. And put this on screen. The known gotaways of the southwest border under this administration is at 1.5 million. Chris, that's the first time I have seen that number, and that is extraordinary.
We can see footage of the amount of people arriving in recent days. That is an invasion.
Now look how many refugees are coming into these bloody 2 areas. I don't know where all these people are bloody gonna go.
The country, of course, as we know, is spending more than £6 million a day on hotels for migrants. Now, one way that the government is trying to cut that mammoth bill is by evicting people 7 days after they've been granted asylum. And this, mark my words, will be an absolutely huge story. Because
I don't know where all these people are bloody gonna go.
The trafficking industry allow these people into Britain and say we will do everything we can to keep you here. What they are not telling these people is that once you get refugee or asylum status, you will have nowhere to live. And that is what we are now being confronted by. I'm joined...
The reality, though, is that we don't know who these people are or where they are coming from.
I mean, there's even Chinese. Yes, Johnny, Chinese. Oh, yes, that's right, yes.
Coming from. Border Patrol now reports a 900% spike in Chinese migrants crossing the southern border in the last year. The numbers are staggering. Almost 10,000 Chinese nationals were encountered at the border.
10,000 of them.
Ties and PLA ties.
All right, so this is the People's Liberation Army.
Yeah, and the Communist Party.
And so we're looking at the video of these guys. When you say ties, what does that mean?
So there are actual members who were in the People's Liberation Army, the People's Liberation Air Force, and they are here in the United States, released into the United States.
So what are they?
The Chinese, those Chinese must be bloody coming to bloody. So they're obviously coming into Mexico and just trying to walk across the fucking US border. Yeah, 10,000 of them. Jesus Christ. How many people are you thinking about bringing in?
You're a killer, Harry.